But a couple announcements. First of all, Butch Jones will be out for the season. He injured his knee. So, again, we expect him to be back for spring football and be bigger and stronger, but he will miss the season. One of these moments in time that are very special to have the opportunity to reward Eli Wolf a scholarship. And, again, he's earned that playing for us, and just can't say enough about him and what he's meant to our program, and very deserving. So I'll answer the questions y'all may have.
Coach, what did Eli have to do to get to that level?
Well, first of all, coming in, we challenged him to put the weight on necessary to play tight end in his conference, and he's been able to do it. He's been a solid special teams performer for us. He creates some matchups for us on the offensive side of the football, and has never said two words, just works every single day and has displayed great consistency.
Coach, what would you say, where is Eli's place kind of in the offense? Has he started carving himself a role out there?
Yeah, I mean, he's done that since last year, and his role continues to grow in our offense as, his skill set has continued to grow. He's putting the weight on that's necessary to be able to be a 3-point tight end, a 2-point tight end, and it means a lot to us in special teams as well.
How many snaps will you go? Do you think you'll go tomorrow night? What's the script for that?
It's just kind of, we'll see how it goes. In my mind, I have a set amount of plays, but we'll see how it goes. And for us, we have to play football, but we also have to do situational football in terms of overtime and coming out 1 minute, 4-minute offense, and get the quality reps and get some extended drives that we need to, of playing 8, 9, 10 plays in a row at a very high level.
Is there anything, I know you want to get better across the board, but are there some bullet points you could share with us?
Playmakers. We need to establish who our playmakers are going to be on both sides of the ball, and I have a better gauge on defense right now than I do offense. And it's a lot of these younger players understanding that we're getting close now. It's game time's getting closer, and you have to come out, continue to put your identity on video. And some individuals, the margin of error is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, where others are taking advantage of those opportunities. And by tomorrow night, we should have a pretty good gauge of where we're at as a football team, what we need to concentrate on in the next week and a half, but also who's going to play this year. And that's what these young players have to understand, is that, again, every rep counts, whether it's an individual rep or a team rep.
Butch, can you talk about Shy? Watching him run around a little bit, he looks like he's progressing pretty good.
He is. He's progressing extremely well, and with that progression comes confidence. And you can see that right now he has tremendous confidence, and he keeps getting better and better and better, and his conditioning levels are going up as well. So I've been really, really encouraged by what we see on a daily basis from him.
Regarding that offense, how do you think the players are just in terms of adapting to Larry Scott as coordinator, and what made you think he was the right choice when it was time to?
I knew he was the right choice. I've been with him for a year. I've seen him, how he interacts in a staff meeting. I've seen how he interacts with our players. I've been able to gauge his expertise, the ability to relate, from a fundamental standpoint, and also understanding the standards and expectations in our football program, understanding our players. So again, to me, that was a no-brainer.
You mentioned looking for playmakers. Obviously, Mary's one kickoffs. Is there any chance that he made some offensive looks this year?
There's a possibility there, but the first thing is we have to get Evans' health back. And it starts at the safety position. It starts as a kickoff returner, and then obviously you can see his role kind of be expanded a little bit onto the offensive side of the ball as well. And Evans is a dynamic football player, and obviously he's very special with the ball in his hands, and he possesses great speed.
What are you seeing from the quarterbacks so far?
Consistency. We still need more. Not just consistency in terms of decision making, but also in leadership. And it's days like this where it's hot out, and you have to manage your offense. And again, you have to be the one that encourages and inspires and takes control. And that's part of the job of a quarterback. And I see that ongoing.
And the cornerbacks as well.
Corner. I tell you what, a freshman who's really starting to step up right now is Sean Schamberger. He's gaining valuable repetitions. He's getting better and better and better. Obviously, Justin Martin has had a very good preseason camp. Having Emmanuel Mosley back has really helped us back there as well. And we need to find our third corner right now. And Sean is one of those individuals where he's taking advantage of the repetitions that he's getting right now, not just on defense, but on special teams as well.
We've heard you comment on Mike Canales. We've heard you comment on Larry Scott. What about Canales, though? I mean, when we interview him, I don't know if you ever watch your coach's interviews, but he's a pretty colorful guy. Is he like that in the meeting rooms?
He is. He has the ability to relate to anyone and everyone. You can see his passion and his love for football every single day. He's been a coordinator. He understands it. He's coached great players, and he has a passion for coaching the quarterback position. And when you bring all those intangibles, he's a great mentor to our players and to our quarterbacks. And he has a great grasp of the knowledge of the game, and not just from a quarterback standpoint, but he's a wide receiver coach in the National Football League with the New York Jets. So again, he's coached at that level as well, and he understands the big picture in terms of offense and rhythm and spacing and timing. He understands protections, understands the run game, so that's invaluable.
I know they play two different positions, but Michael Pilardi had a huge jump as far as his confidence level from one year to the next. How do you compare that to what Justin's done? Because a year ago he seemed like he was beat down, and right now you guys keep heaping praise on him. Justin Martin. Yeah.
Well, I think first of all it starts internally. It starts with that individual, and again, it's part of our program, and a lot of credit goes to both those individuals of understanding that my time is limited, and what am I here for, and setting priorities, and then making those priorities, and then really committing yourself. And like we talked about, it's one thing to be committed, it's another to be driven. Commitments come and go, but if you're driven, it never leaves you. And just staying on top of those things, and also pushing those individuals to be the best version of them. And I love Michael Pilardi and how far he's come. And the Panthers were in here today, and he's doing a great job. And then Justin Martin again continues to get better. But where I really like Justin is he's playing with confidence, but also he's bringing another dynamic to the table, and that's leadership.
Couple offensive linemen back at practice with Trey Smith, Tatum the last couple of days, but do you still have some guys that you guys are going to rely on out? When do you kind of expect maybe the full complement of players to be out there? So
we're hoping the next couple of days. That's kind of what we're hoping for. That's kind of what we're gearing towards. But getting Marcus back, getting Trey back is big for us, and not just out of the field, but from a conditioning standpoint. We talked about being able to play your best when you're in the 6th, 7th, 8th play of a drive, and you have to practice those things. So to be able to get them back there and work on their stamina, work on their conditioning is big as anything, and then their fundamentals and their technique.
Coach, how tough can it be to, you say the offense maybe is doing not as many things playmaking-wise as the defense. How tough is it as a coach to look at that and say, well, maybe the defense is just playing really well versus the offense needs to pick it up?
That's one of the things as a coach, you try to gauge at where you're at in all three phases, and you really never know until that first game. You think you have a pretty good idea, and it's all about competition. With Justin Martin getting better, that's elevating the play of the receivers that he goes up against. Emmanuel Mosley, our defensive front with Combo and Vickers and Khalil McKenzie and Darrell Taylor and all those individuals, that's making them better. But you really never know until what you have really game one, and really all the way to probably game 3 is when you're really still, evaluating your football team.
All right, thank you.